Have you ever wondered if ancient texts could actually hold a practical guide for finding peace in our, let's be honest, pretty chaotic world? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're building a roadmap, drawing from Indian philosophy to explore everything from how the cosmos was created all the way down to the most intimate battle, the one we all fight inside our own minds. So let's dive in.
So on one hand, you've got the philosophical Bhagavad Gita, which is really a direct conversation about duty, about reality. And on the other hand, you have the Puranas, these vast collections of myths and incredible legends. So how do they connect? Well, we're going to see how these epic stories actually provide real-world context for the deep philosophy that, we all grapple with.
So where do we even begin a journey like this? Well, you have to go back to the very start. To really understand our place in the world, we've got to first ask how it all began. What was that first principle that set everything into motion?
Okay, this is a huge idea. The universe wasn't just, poof, created. It was created with a fundamental principle woven into its very fabric: sacrifice. And we're not talking about a literal sacrifice, right? Think of it more like a cosmic law of giving, of selfless action. That's the engine that drives prosperity.
You have to remember, this knowledge was passed down through storytelling, with sages sharing these creation stories for generations. And they weren't just fun myths. They were foundational tales that put humanity within a cosmic order. They tied our very existence to this principle of giving and receiving, this idea of sacrifice.
Okay, so the universe is created, and it's built on this core principle of action. This, of course, leads to the next big question. What's our role in all this? What is our duty, our dharma, our righteous path in this huge cosmic play?
Well, the Bhagavad Gita lays out two main spiritual paths. First, there's Sankhya Yoga. This is the path of knowledge, really for the deep thinkers, the contemplative types. Then you've got Karma Yoga, the path of action, for those of us who are deeply engaged in the world. And it's so important to get this. Neither one is better than the other. They're just different ways to get to the same goal.
And here we hit this incredible paradox that's right at the heart of this philosophy. You can't achieve freedom from action by just running away from your responsibilities. You don't get to perfection by sitting on the sidelines and doing nothing. The text is totally clear. You find true freedom through engaging with the world, but with a completely different mindset.
For a perfect example of this path of action, we can look to the Puranas and the story of King Prithu. When the earth basically went on strike and hid all its bounty, he didn't just give up on his duty as a king. No. He persuaded the earth, who appeared as a cow, to provide for his people. He wasn't acting for his own gain, but for the good of everyone. That is Karma Yoga in practice. Doing the right thing simply because it's your duty.
All right, so if the path seems clear, just act with the right intention, then why is it so incredibly hard? What keeps stopping us? This is where the texts shift from the outside world to the one inside us, to pinpoint the single greatest enemy in our way.
And bam, here it is. The texts are crystal clear about this. The enemy is kama, desire. But not just any desire. We're talking about that insatiable, self-serving craving. You know that modern feeling of never enough? That's it. The text says it's born from rajas, this fiery quality of passion and attachment. This is what hijacks our best intentions and keeps us from acting selflessly.
Wow. I mean, what a powerful metaphor, right? Our innate wisdom, our clarity, it's always there. But just like a fire gets smothered by smoke, or a mirror gets covered in a layer of dust, it gets totally obscured. That desire, that kama, it's the smoke, it's the dust. It clouds our judgment so we can't see things as they really are.
Okay, so we've set the stage, we know our duty, and now we've identified the enemy within. So what's the game plan? How do we actually conquer this internal enemy and find that peace we're all looking for?
The answer, according to these texts, is yoga. And I have to stop here because this is crucial. We're not just talking about the poses you do in a studio. This is yoga as a mental discipline. The process is laid out for us. First, you get control over that wild, turbulent mind. Doing that allows you to finally break free from that constant yearning, and the result? Everlasting peace, supreme bliss.
This is such a beautiful image, isn't it? This is the goal. It's not about having an empty mind, but a steady one. A mind that's so focused, so controlled, that the winds of chaos and desire from the outside world just can't make it flicker anymore. It becomes this steady, unwavering flame of pure awareness.
So what's the ultimate reward for all this work? It's not just a quick break from stress or a fleeting moment of quiet. No, it's described as an everlasting peace, a supreme bliss, a stable, deep state of being that's connected to the divine itself. This is really the culmination of the whole journey.
And this brings us right back to the beginning, full circle. The path of action and the path to inner peace, they aren't two different things. The ultimate challenge is to become that steady flame right in the middle of life's winds, to act in the world, to do your duty, but to do it all with a mind that has found its own unshakable center. Can we truly live in the world without being consumed by it? That's the real challenge, and that's the question this ancient wisdom leaves us to think about.